Well, hey, it's Heidi, and today we're talking about introductions. How do you introduce two people to each other? There is a formula, and you need to know it. Stay tuned. Hello, it's Heidi Dulabon, and today we're talking about introductions. How do you properly introduce two people to each other? Well, we're going to look at it through a social lens and a business professional lens, in person and via email. Okay, so let's just jump in. When you introduce two people, there is a formula. Yes, a formula, and it is rooted in etiquette and protocol, and you need to know it. You never want to make a mistake introducing people. Okay, so what's the formula? This sounds complicated. Don't worry, because I have a hack, and with my hack, you will never ever make a mistake again, and you'll never question, oh, which do I introduce, him to her or her to, oh, I can't remember. Okay, so let's just unpack this. Here is the formula. You always introduce the junior person to the senior person. Yes, junior's introduced to the senior person. Here's my hack. Always say the senior person's name first, because if you do that, you absolutely cannot make a mistake, because you automatically have to introduce the junior person then to the senior person. You've already said their name. Okay, sounds great, right? But now you're saying, what's this junior senior thing? Well, this is protocol. This is rooted in protocol, and there are things called the order of presidents, and it goes by country. It's heads of state, the heads of clergy. It goes all the way down, city council member. That's another thing. Today, if you would like that, drop me a comment, because we can get in the weeds with that. It's fascinating. But today we are going to look at a social situation and a business situation. Okay, so let's just set a scenario so I can show you what I mean. Let's just say I am a manager at my company and I have a new intern for the summer, Joe Smith. I have just been invited to a big meeting in person in the office, and I'm told my boss will be there. My boss is Sherry Jones, and my boss will be facilitating the meeting. Okay, so I tell my intern, Joe, let's go to the meeting. Let's go early. I always go to the meetings early, good tip, because that's when you can really do a little networking, build some rapport, introduce yourself around. So Joe, my intern, and I arrive early. We look around the room, other people are mingling, and I see my boss, Sherry Jones. So I say, come on, let's go meet Sherry. So Joe and I make our way over, and I'm going to introduce them. Okay, so what's the formula? Junior to senior. In this case, my boss, that's the higher position. She is the senior. Joe is an intern. That is the junior position. So I'm going to introduce Joe to Sherry. Okay, so I would say, excuse me, Sherry, I'd like to introduce you to someone. Sherry, may I introduce you to Joe Smith, my intern for the summer? And then I would say, Joe, may I introduce you to Sherry Jones, my boss? Then they would shake hands, and the appropriate response between each would say, how do you do? Very nice to meet you. In the most formal situations, the response is, how do you do? But for this case, this is a business situation. You could say, how do you do? It's very nice to meet you. Just a little tip that I like to do when I introduce people is just add a word or two to help give reference to the person. So I said, Joe Smith, my summer intern, and Sherry Jones, my boss. So that's set, so they know, okay, this is who this person is. Okay, so that's a business situation. Now let's just look at a social situation. Let's just say I'm invited to a wedding, and it's a lovely afternoon wedding, and my favorite great aunt Hilda is there. And I am there. My plus one is a good friend of mine, Sally. So Sally and I have gone to this wedding, and at the reception, I really want to introduce her to my favorite great aunt, Hilda. So at the reception, okay, now in a social situation, junior to senior, okay, in a social situation, it is the elder person. right? Okay, so the elder person is my great aunt, Hilda. The junior person is my friend, Sally. She's a contemporary of me. She's about my age. So my great aunt is older. So I would go up at the reception and say, "Excuse me, Aunt Hilda. I'd like to introduce you to someone." And then I would turn to Sally and say, Aunt Hilda, may I introduce you to my friend Sally? Sally works with me at the company. And Sally, may I introduce you to my favorite great aunt Hilda? And they would shake hands. How do you do? Very nice to meet you. Okay, so I said my great aunt's name first. Aunt Hilda, may I introduce you to Sally? Sally, may I introduce you to my favorite great aunt Hilda? So you see how this works. It's junior to senior. Say the senior person's name first. You'll never ever make a mistake. Okay, so that sounds great in person. How about via email, business? Okay, so we're back at the office and I have my intern and he's going to be here all summer, and I know Joe will be great help to me because I have a heavy workload. So I'm going to send an email to my best customer and let them know that they will also be working with Joe over the summer. So the email, the etiquette, the protocol is the same. Start with the senior person, their name first. You introduce the junior to the senior. So I'm going to compose an email to my favorite customer. Email to my favorite customer. Dear favorite customer's name, looking forward to a wonderful summer with you. Thank you. We appreciate all your business. I'd like to let you know this summer I have a new intern. May I introduce you to Joe Smith, comma. He will be very helpful this summer and will probably having some interaction with you, period. Joe is copied above on this email, period. Okay, so I have introduced Joe, the intern, to my favorite customer via email. Junior introduced to senior. Okay, it's that easy. Remember my hack, say the senior person's name first, and you will never, ever have a mistake. But I have one tidbit I'm going to leave you with. What if you forget somebody's name while you're introducing them? It happens. It's happened to me. You know what the best thing to do is? Fess up. Just say, I know we've met last summer and please forgive me. I'm Heidi Dulabon. Would you please remind me of your name again? And they will, and then you can go on and do the introduction. So that sometimes when you're introducing people, it's like your mind just goes blank and you're thinking, what's this person's name again? I even have a friend, she forgot her husband's name when she was introducing him to someone. So it happens. Fess up, it's all good. All right, hope this helps a little bit. Love it if you please like this video, drop me a comment, and always so grateful if you'd subscribe to my channel. And as I always say, everyone, please be kind. Thank you.